This is Holding Left Edge with Christian and Simon.
Nice.
Sexual.
We're going.
We are back again.
Okay, lads.
Behave now.
Are we all ready?
I think we are. Welcome to the Campfire edition of Holding Left Edge. The smoke is real. It's not a prop. We're at Leggett's Quarry in... We're not in Hull officially, are we?
No,
Shakes his head.
we're,
South Ferriby, officially.
Well, yes, we're technically in Lincolnshire, aren't we? But I kind of view it more as like an invasion. I'm extending the border of Yorkshire to the south bank of the Humber, basically.
You know me, you know Christian, also with us around the campfire is Luke from York Knife, and Bob of Range 23 fame, and recently of Humberside Dynamic Shooting Club.
Indeed.
We're here running a Jackal Rifle Club event tomorrow. We've come to make sure that all the grass is still here and stuff, setting up targets and just making our life easier for the morning. We've got a group turning up to shoot furthest distance about 250.
250? Yeah, 250.
All 2-2, if I can see through the smoke, and from various points in this beautiful quarry, hopefully in the glorious North Yorkshire sunshine. Kind of Bob to have us down. For those who don't know, he runs a fantastic range here. You focus mainly on IPSC,
Practical
UKPSC.
shooting, yeah. We call ourselves dynamic, so any kind of modern sporting shooting, I guess. Obviously, you guys doing your PRS, breaking barricades, that type of thing, different shooting positions. Anything that's fun, basically. Anything that's not sat at a bench, shooting at static targets.
Anything that looks like John Wick.
Yeah, little John Wick stuff.
Yeah,
in inappropriate footwear, I find from experience.
We do have Marty and Heng down there, a bit more John Wick than me, but yeah.
We're in the north of the country, north of Birmingham, the land where the NRA daren't venture, just trying to spread the love. It's a fantastic venue. Do you know how many acres you've got?
Between 1 and 100, I have no idea.
It's just got a lot of acres and lots of trees. We're in a quarry. Those that know what a quarry looks like, it's a quarry. It's massive. I mean, the furthest we could realistically shoot out here is probably 300 plus,
Yeah.
which for 2-2 is ample in all disciplines. They do 2-2 F class, probably.
Yeah, you can get 2-2 disciplines, bench rest, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
So it's a venue suitable for everything. We're fortunate that Bob looks after us very well, and if we need stuff moving around, he's got big diggers and stuff. So we've been able to set up some fantastic firing points. Should be able to run some great course of fire here. This is where we'll be running the teams event in August that we mentioned in the last podcast. So all being well, we'll have a dozen or so teams down here making the most of it. Your club runs predominantly practical. We call it practical.
Practical shooting. We do mini rifle, shotgun, that type of stuff. We're very new, realistically, but yeah, we've got big plans. A lot of stuff in the pipeline, and obviously you guys down as well. Always good to have you boys down.
I think what's really exciting about this range, this quarry, is we've got multiple firing points, multiple angles that we can shoot at. We've got a really good template, haven't we, as a range? We can get out to 300 metres. It's just going to give us so many options for setting up a really impressive course of fire.
What I like is it's accessible. It's right by the Humber Bridge. You're literally 5 minutes off the Humber Bridge for those that know the north of the country. You can't see behind the camera, but we're all set up. We've got roof tents and tents and all sorts out. So there's ample camping here. Ample camping. I like that. It's got a ring to it. So we can make a weekend of it, which is what we do. The fact we're here on a Friday night.
Toilets, kitchen, all
Everything.
the facilities you want to arrange.
All the facilities, just like you have at home. Everything but the kitchen sink.
And we were here last week doing a bit of test and evaluation on some stuff, and we had Bob shooting out. How far did you get out to with the Bagara?
Is it 254 or something, wasn't it, I think, with your
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody saw the videos on my Instagram and YouTube. Bob was ringing that steel out at 250 metres, holding left edge.
I mean, you say it like I was doing the hard work. You dialed everything in for me. I just literally kind of put the crosshair on the plate and pulled the trigger. I did the easy bit.
In fairness, you shooted pretty much one-handed. You were cycling that stainless steel Bagara of mine, it was effortless. I felt a little bit inadequate, to be honest. And he's taller than me as well, so I've got a little bit of man love for Bob, I'm not going to lie. Still let him know about it.
The world knows now.
If you're in the north of the country, you're looking for this sort of shooting, precision rifle, you know how to get hold of us. If you're looking at dynamic shooting, mini rifle, IPSC, UK PSA type stuff, I say we because I don't know how it works. Christian will put a link to how to get hold of Bob and how to make an inquiry in relation to getting yourself involved, coming along and shooting at what is a fantastic venue, a well-run club, really, really safe. All the things we look for in a range we're going to look to use, and we're very fortunate to have a good relationship. I don't know how UK PSA and IPSC works, but there's plenty of organisations out there running events up and down the country. Come and cut your teeth here, and then travel around. You got Marty and Heng and all those sort of people. They're up here, aren't they? It's Heng up here.
Yeah, Heng's up here. Yeah, Heng's about half an hour away. Marty's the same. Got some really good lads in the club. Really good shooters. So yeah, all doing different disciplines. So yeah, there's going to be plenty happening.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind giving it a go. I was just looking at some of your rifles earlier.
Oh, yeah.
What were you showing us earlier?
So we've got out with us today the AK, the Chiappa Rack 22, okay. Modernised, and the Keltec CMR 30 as well, 22 Magnum. Both two very unusual kind of rim fires to have. Everyone runs ARs. ARs kind of dominate everything, don't they? But I always like to go for something a little bit different, a little bit niche. Just challenge myself a bit with
that Keltec.
Yeah.
That really turned my head.
It comes with an accessory pack. One of them's a balaclava because it's ideal for doing post offices. Not that we endorse robbing the post offices on holding left edge, but if you were of that inclination, then that would be the rifle of choice.
What were you running on it? Was it Holosun?
Holosun 503 on both of them actually. It's one of my go-tos. Nice little optic. Has the chevrons for shooting up to distance, and like a bit like an EOTech, you've got the it's not a ring, it's a horseshoe. It's like EOTech has what's it called, the donut of death. I guess the Holosun would call it like the horseshoe of doom or something like that. Yeah, really nice and crisp, magnifies well as well, so quite good for actually getting out as well for a bit of distance on them. 22 Magnum's good. Stretch the legs a bit.
You're gonna have to give me an invite, mate. We'll shoot. I'm gonna have to come and give it a go. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, we'll have you down any time. Yeah. Absolutely, come and give it a go, have a crack. We'll get Simon running about.
Don't do running, not built for anymore. I'm built for short bursts of violence, that's about it. More importantly, another question you all want to ask is what we're eating. Luke's already knocked up some faux Wagyu steaks that he smashed in some, were they pita breads or were they wraps?
Pita breads, because multicultural.
Embracing diversity on holding left edge. We've got some kebabs and we've got some steaks and we've got all sorts of stuff going on. Copious amounts of beer. Obviously, those that are shooting tomorrow around drinking, I'm match directing, so I'm sound effects that make sure the microphones work. You can't have a barbecue without a few beers, can you? And lots of things that are smoking, but really should have food on them cooking. Yeah. But Christian's made us do a podcast like he does.
Unfortunately, I'm not shooting tomorrow. Luca, my son, he works for BZ Tactical, BZ Paintball. And he's got an event on at their place up on Teesside, so I'm going along to that, have a look around and watch him do his media work. That actually links in quite well with this range, because is it every Sunday you're putting on airsoft matches?
Yeah, that's it. So we're running kind of conjunction with Humber Airsoft Club, who run matches most Sundays down here, and I've done for about 10 years now. Really good venue. We're probably one of the biggest in the UK, if not the biggest. Great outdoor venue. Guys have put a great amount of effort into it. Like you say, we've got toilets and indoor facilities and things as well. So yeah, it's a cracking venue. We've done a really good job.
Going forwards, we're doing a lot of academy work here. I know we mentioned the academy in the last podcast. Will this be going out before the Adam Sinfield one?
Well, we did promise Adam would be our first guest on.
Oh, Bob's done it. Bob and Luke have done it.
Bob and Luke have done Adam big time there. Yeah. So,
sorry, Adam. He won't mind. I'll buy him a bottle of wine. It'll be fine.
This was a bit of an impromptu podcast. We just thought, while we're here, let's get stuck in and get it done.
Absolutely. We do a quiz. No one got the correct answer for the number I wrote down the other day. I've had loads of people send me messages saying what number was it. No one's got it right. So we'll roll it over. If you can guess the number I'm thinking now, Bob will give you a shoulder ride around the quarry. He's quite tall, so it'll be a good vantage point. So if you can guess the number I'm thinking of between 1 and 1,000, you can get a free shoulder ride off Bob.
True story.
True story.
Not for very long though.
Should we introduce Luke properly? Luke, so you are the master knife maker, owner of York Knife. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
As little as possible. I've been a full-time knife maker since the start of COVID. Been making knives for nearly 15 years. Messing about at the start and a lot more serious now. Started doing shows. We do weekend knife making courses for up to 2 people, so it's quite intimate and personal. So you leave with something like quite special, really. A lot more attention to detail than some of the courses you go on where there's 5 or 6 people in the group, and the person teaching is kind of split in between you. So it's worthwhile giving that a look on YouTube. We've had a few YouTubers come and make videos of the weekend, so there's a lot of content out there on them. But yeah, I'm kind of the man that's sort of living the dream at the moment, because I've made a hobby into a full-time profession.
And didn't we make that decision for you to go full-time knife making with a load of beer on the beach? I think we did,
Yeah,
didn't we?
we did. Yeah. One very sunny afternoon. We
Both got sunburned, yeah.
Quite drunk, dehydrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A great example set for the people out in podcast land.
Yeah.
But some of the best decisions are made when you are sunburned and drunk. That's a podcast fact.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Best time to come up with a business plan. Just on a beach.
There was less of a plan and more just do it. You know what I mean? There was no plan involved. It was just like, there's my notice. Yeah, I know we're in COVID. I know there's not a lot of work out there and people are shutting up businesses, but it's kind of testament that if you put your mind to it and you have a decent idea and you're doing something you love and you're gonna work 8 days a week and 36 hours a day, that you can actually scrape a living together. Yeah.
Some of the knives that Luke's made, those that remember the Plan B that sold phenomenally well for me. Was that pre-COVID, that, or was that just after COVID?
Just after COVID, I think that one. Yeah.
Christian still uses ones to this day. Fantastic piece of kit. Also, Luke was very kind to humour me when I suggested he move towards a Gralkin type knife, the Jaeger, which found its way into the hands of a few noticeable people. Al loves podcasts. We'll be watching this. From Bagara, he's got one. You've got one.
Yeah.
Lewis has got one. So the moral to the story is, if you're looking for someone to make you something out there for a specific purpose, drop them a line. It ain't just stuff on the shelf. You buy what's on the shelf, or that's it. It'll make you whatever you want. Without being too bold, I was looking at some pictures today, some interesting tactical stuff that Luke's got in the pipeline that hopefully we'll have at a show this year. You remember something for this year?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So all those in tactical land out there, some interesting stuff coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, so I've just started drawing up and prototyping on one of the lasers that we've got. We can cut out and make stuff out of wood just to get a feel of how it sits in your hand. Some ring knives and some like tomahawks, which should be pretty funky. And I think they should give a lot of different people a hard on, whether that's we dress them up as a bushcraft type tomahawk, or we do.
Can we say hard on a podcast?
Sorry, an erection.
Well, we have.
Sorry, an erection. That's the medical term. And again, that came out of a few beers, I think. We got drunk one night and I said, what would be really nice? I want a Winkler knife, but there's like a 40-year waiting list for them. So I can make them. Sorry, Mr. Winkler. Winkler won't watch this podcast, and they're going to sue you. So it'll be a UK version of the famous Winkler Tomahawks, which are a phenomenal piece of kit. But again, like I've always been banging on about, UK makers making things in the UK for UK customers. It's the only way. Certainly, without being too pragmatic about it, it only takes another COVID and the things you like on the internet that you want to buy from all the way around the world to just stop coming in. We've seen it firsthand. I've seen it with like Essie, great brand, worked with Essie for years, and it only takes one international pandemic.
I find this really interesting because like half my stuff goes to the States and the other half goes to America, and like when the pandemic came in, everybody like had a bit of a knee-jerking moment and realised that everything was really, really fragile. The way things are delivered, the way things are lead times to get built, and how like one massive piece of equipment rests on the tiniest like part that comes in from China or Australia, and once that's broken, that whole thing, like there was a massive waiting list for cars and microchips and all sorts. It's such a fragile system, but you can circumnavigate that by ordering direct from York Knife. Half my stuff is made to order. It's all in stock on the website.
Website,
Yeah.
address?
yorkknife.co.uk or .com. Both will get you there. Real big presence on Instagram. And now podcasts.
You are big on the gram, aren't you? You're kind of a big deal on the gram.
We've been on Instagram about 8 years. Before it was ruined by the algorithm and the Zuckerberg.
You're right, he doesn't watch this, so you'll be fine. I mean, if Mark Zuckerberg watches this, I'm very surprised. He doesn't watch TV, he just plugs himself in and out, doesn't he?
If you search York Knife tomorrow and I'm not there, you know he watches it.
Instaface has got you.
Yeah.
What else do we need to talk about?
Oh, you know, this is the trouble with doing a podcast on location, because I don't have my notepad and pen with me.
You did have one last time, it was on your phone.
I know, yeah, but, you know, I was a bit more prepared last time.
I mean, for context, what we've got tomorrow is we've got members coming. I've known all our members for a long time. Members coming to shoot dynamically. Some of them have never shot before dynamically. It's an interesting change in tempo for what are, on face value, very experienced shooters, but a lot of the people I know from the shooting world have only ever shot prone or on bench. Tomorrow we're going to get them out of the comfort zones, get them on some tripods, get them on some props, some great props here. You can imagine Christian's face. Those that know Christian can imagine his face when we found basically a hoard of brand new oil drums, empty. You can just move them around with one hand. So we're going to get people moving between props and...
Well, we've got everything on site that we need, really, with cable reels, we've got oil drums, massive tractor tyres, huge rocks that are falling off the quarry face, and everything you need to set up a precision rifle match. In fact, we've even got over there a fort.
Yeah, we've got a fort. You can't see it. Next time we do by the Campfire podcast, maybe we'll do it from the fort. It is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And the midges, we've got lots of midges as well.
I thought you were coming for a kiss then.
bit early for that.
I think it's that type of podcast.
For a small fee tomorrow as well, people can shoot off me.
Now that is some positional shooting.
Yeah,
that will be
like
a challenge.
Scarecrow with your arms out.
Look, for all our viewers and listeners, I'm really sorry about this. I'd normally moderate a lot better, but with this motley crew, I've got no chance.
I mean,
so
with no one's sworn yet. He said
waving the white flag.
Yeah, he said erection, but that's probably about as bad as we've got. It's not like we've got Alex White on again. Alex will always hold the record for the most swear on a podcast. Full stop. And I can't do a podcast without mentioning Alex.
I was just going to say that's a challenge now. Every podcast we've got to mention Alex White.
Deal.
All right.
Deal. I spoke to him today. He'll be cool with that.
Yeah. We won't put a podcast out unless we've mentioned Alex once.
Deal. We'll wrap it up. I think we'll probably cover everything we're going to cover.
Yeah. Well, again, apologies, Adam. You were supposed to be our first guest, but that hasn't happened.
He's our first studio guest.
First studio guest. But for everybody watching and listening, next week, so in the next few days, we're going to be having Adam Sinfield on, the Secretary of the Great Britain Precision Rifle Association, and whatever it is he does for the International Precision Rifle Federation. Technical stuff and legal stuff. But that is going to be an absolutely fascinating listen, I think. Adam's very knowledgeable about precision rifle, very knowledgeable about the organisation of the sport at both the national and international level. So that's definitely a podcast you don't want to miss.
And it might be a big announcement for us as well.
Well, we're going to try and get that venue out of him for the PR22 Worlds next year in the UK.
Happy days.
Great.
I just say goodbye. Then Christian said, "Go on, mate. It's always you have to end every podcast we do."
Are we ending now?
We've run out of stuff to talk about, haven't we?
Well, I'm keen to get a burger, so yeah.
There you go.
That's all right. So Bob, Luke, thanks for joining us tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. Be good to one another, and we'll see you on the next show.
See you now.
Big shout out to the JRL.
Fucking love a good podcast.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Thanks, guys. My first podcast ever as well, fellas.
Oh, shit, I didn't record. No,
Yeah.